Welcome to the Habitual Woman podcast with yours truly, Dabrina Wright. I'm a holistic, habit-based lifestyle coach, nutrition educator, and fitness trainer. This is a show about transforming habits into a lifestyle. We will introduce and reintroduce habits, as well as have a conversation with women about the habits and the rituals they use to live the life that they deserve. Now let's get into today's show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies, and welcome to the Habitual Woman podcast. Today's episode, oh my God, you are in store. We are having a conversation with Alex from Namaste as Fuck. She is going to talk to us how we can still love yoga and be angry. We're going to talk about habits and rituals and retreats and self-reflection and self-discipline and mixing it up and owning your shit. It's going to get good. It's going to be exciting. There's so much in store and so much more even after this episode is over. So I definitely want you to tune in, check out, and enjoy today's show. So thank you for joining me on this week's episode of the Habitual Woman podcast. I am so excited to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I want to do cartwheels, like I really do. But
let's see it. You're fit.
Yeah, no, not right now. I'm in a pleated skirt. That won't be too cute.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
But I want to let everybody know how I even heard about you or came across. So first of all, this is Alex from Namaste as Fuck. Woo woo. I came across you because of a previous guest and like a bestie in my life. She doesn't know she's my bestie, but I think she knows she's my best. DJ Right Toast.
She would co-sign on that. She would sign off.
Right?
Yeah.
She had on one of your shirts. In my fact, it was Namaste as Fuck. It was that one of your classic tees. And of course, the smart thing to do is to tag someone. So I was like, what? And then I went to the tag and then I was like, what?
That's awesome.
And I was just scrolling and then I was like, okay, the gear is off the chain, like the tees, the yoga stone. Like I plan on wardrobing myself up. I already have the Namaste as Fuck socks. I have a tee coming. There'll be some more orders happening. I just know it. Oh, you know, you have and then you have retreats going on. I was like, okay, so not only like does she or even they, because I was like, I don't know who's going on. Honestly, I knew the vibe was from a female. It was just that fly.
That's tight. That's tight.
But when I dug into it more, because whenever I really love a product and honestly, their branding, or I want to know the brand story, which is usually the story. I want to know about the person. And so that's when I found out more about you and your retreats and just more of the stuff that you do and the philosophy behind Namaste as Fuck. So thank you for being present and creating that space for us.
Whoa, thanks for being here and saying all of that. I think that it's one of those things that even like getting ready for this podcast or like interview too, it's like, what even do I do? How do I even explain like what it is that I do? And it's like so refreshing. And I was saying that the first time we talked too, it's like so refreshing to have that like fresh perspective and to be able to hear that from you. So thank you for saying that.
No problem. Again, like I said, I look forward to, and we've talked and we have some stuff in the works for you guys. I can't even wait. But so that's how I know about you and how I fell in love with you and the brand. For those who don't know you and don't know about the brand, can you tell us about you and Namaste as Fuck?
Yeah. So where do I start the story? You want like the whole story?
Girl, just give it to me. Whatever you feel like giving us.
Okay, cool. So I found yoga 10 or so years ago now. Now I get to be one of those people that is like, oh, has it been on 10 years already? Whatever. But I found yoga like 10 years ago and I was actually working in politics. I had kind of accidentally gotten a job in politics and was in this really stressful work environment. I was in some toxic situations in my personal life and I was dealing with, or I have been dealing with anxiety and depression since like middle school. And I had randomly stumbled into a yoga class. It was like an advanced vinyasa class. And I got my ass kicked. I hated every second of it. Every single emotion came up throughout the entire class. So much anger, hatred, directed outward, directed inward. But then at the end, I felt amazing. I felt like in my body, present, calm, soft towards myself, something I had maybe never felt before or hadn't felt in a long time. So somehow I kept going back, and it wasn't like all of a sudden now I'm a yogi. It was like, oh, the next month I'll go back, and then the next month, and then slowly just kind of coming in and out more often. And yoga really helped me start to navigate through or out of some shitty situations I was in my personal life, and started to develop like a relationship with my body that was way more positive and starting to make better decisions for myself. But in the meantime, I still fucking hated it. Like I hated going to it. I was never like, I'm so excited to go to yoga. And it's funny because today I still feel like that, especially like after this past year, but it works for me. So I keep going. Mm-hmm. So I kept going, and I would try to talk to people like in studios, and I did my first teacher training, and that just kind of like snowballed into this other stuff, more teacher trainings and launching Namaste as fuck eventually. But I would try to talk to like other students in the class or teachers, be like, I literally want to kill myself in chair pose. Like I want to die while I'm doing yoga. Does anyone else resonate with this? And they're like, just breathe it out. Just be positive. You need to calm down. You're too intense. Like try not to talk about that. And it felt very like there was something wrong with me, and no one was like having that conversation with me or like validating what I was experiencing. So I started just to myself saying namaste as fuck. Like I'm divine and invited and welcome and holy and spiritual no matter what I'm experiencing. And I kept showing up because of that. Or like I would just kind of say that to myself, and it's like, it's okay. You're namaste as fuck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're crying in pigeon pose. It doesn't matter if you're angry in chair pose. And yeah, so I just kept saying that to myself, kept showing up. My life kept getting better. And I started slapping it on some t-shirts just to make some cool like swag for my friends. Yeah. And I also was really upset at the time. Like it seems like things are better now, but a lot of the yoga gear at the time, this was back in like 2012 or 2013, was like made in sweatshop factories, or it was like not ethically produced. So I was really passionate about making like, why would you wear sweatshop clothing while you're practicing yoga and talking about peace and all this stuff? That's like pretty hypocritical. So just started from there, just making shirts and stuff for my friends. And then I led my first retreat, and it's just kind of gone from there. It's been like 4 or 5 years now. What year is it? Like 4.5, 5 years. So yeah, that's how we got here.
I love it. What year is it?
What year is it? That's the mood epidemic, right?
Right. That is all the time. Man, so that definitely makes sense. And I'm sure it resonates with hopefully plenty of people out there, because again, that was one of the things that resonated with me. I was like, okay, so there's nothing wrong with me because I'm full on going through project management checklist while I'm in child's play. You know what I mean? Like, that's a child's play. Lord Jesus.
I like it.
Look, that's how I feel like it. But you know what I mean? Like, I can't completely release, but it's helpful to have some release and have some movement and to slow it down. But sometimes that's also where I think the best. And maybe that's where I'm creative, or maybe that's where, like for me, that's yoga or meditation. Like that's where you're supposed to be kind of hashing out some shit. So if some emotions or some feelings surface, I should be allowed to experience those emotions and not like keep them in, because then that's like the bad thing, right? That's like toxic. So
yeah, 100%. And it still counts. I've had shavasana or whatever, seated meditation, whatever kind of meditation, where it's like I totally drop in, and it's like I'm in that really cool in-between space between like awake and asleep. And I feel, tapped in. And then I have other times where it's like, or whole years, like last year, where it's just like, I can't fucking meditate. I don't feel good in my body. I can't drop in. I can't relax. Like everything's too intense, but it still counts. Just because you're not getting like that immediate feeling, like it's still happening and like you're still getting the benefits from it.
And that's the part that I like. And that's something that I have to recognize and own as well. And I tell the people like, dude, it's like, it still counts. Like I think that's a big thing, is to know that it's still valued, for yourself. So with that, then let me shift a little bit, especially with you trying to find that balance, especially in today's with the pandemic and everything that's going on. And then, are you yoga teaching?
Oh, like, am I teaching classes right now?
Yeah.
So lately, like I've done a couple of virtual classes. I used to do work like a lot of one-on-one with clients, but now I just kind of do like what I'm invited to teach at an event or our retreats. So I wouldn't say I'm like technically teaching a ton. I'll teach every once in a while. I'll do like a Namaste. So like we just did yoga for people mad at yoga virtual class. So when I feel inspired, and I think people are surprised to hear too, like I got so mad at yoga this past year. Like I couldn't practice. Like I was showing up and kind of going through the motions, but just like super mad at it, which really just means I was mad at myself and it like didn't feel safe in my body. So I have been reigniting that relationship with like me and my practice, and then also with me and teaching. So hopefully with this, maybe a nudge to keep teaching more too.
Is there a way to access that training?
Oh, that class? We actually have a virtual studio on namastesbook.com. And so there's a couple of not a couple, like we have classes up there from myself and then other really awesome ambassadors that volunteered to teach. And actually all 100% of the proceeds go to the Seoul Long Beach Yoga Festival, which is a Black-owned yoga festival here in SoCal, to get like community members to their festival. They did it virtual this year. Maybe next year it'll be in person, but it's for a good cause too.
Okay, so I'll definitely drop the link then.
Yes.
It's show notes to that virtual studio, as well as I'm sure to a whole bunch of other shit. But definitely, because I think that is good. Because the stuff that I've been seeing come up, it's been like yoga for real people. So like I like that type of like, shit, I'm mad at it right now, but I still
100%
get it out,
Me too.
I still need to bend and stuff, but let me make that happen. So then with everything that's going on right now, what are some habits that got you to where you are, that's keeping you sane-ish? What do your habits look like? Give us some habits and rituals through Alex's day.
Yeah. Okay. So this is funny because I am someone where it's like, if you tell me one is good, I'll just try and do 10 at once and then be like, okay, I'm done now. Right. Like I'm done healing. I drank 10 green juices and I did 10 yoga classes in a day. So now I'm done. Right. So my relationship with like ritual and habits is very much like trying to soften and like check in to see like what it is that I really need. So ever since this year, so 2021, now that we know the year, I have actually been on a Kundalini yoga kick, which used to be the kind of yoga that I hated the most, or was like so weirded out. And now I'm like really into it. Okay. So I've got a big backyard, which I'm really grateful for.
Me too.
Yes. And I will go do like 20 minutes of Kundalini yoga, lots of like breath work and like really funny positions that are awkward and uncomfortable, but you hold them for a long time. And like afterwards, I feel so free after I do that. So I hang in the yard, I stare at plants and I listen to the birds and I hang out with my dog. And I really just kind of try to feel into what kind of routine I need to have the rest of the day, or like what I really am feeling. And historically, I've been a very rigorous, like workout no matter what, or like do yoga no matter what, meditate no matter what. And to a certain extent, I think I can credit like what I've accomplished that I wanted to accomplish with sort of making myself do that in some instances, or like really committing to that. But I think that lately what I've been working on is softening into like giving myself permission to not do it. And so all of this to say, it looks different every day. Lately, I've been on a Kundalini kick, hang out in the yard, drink my coffee outside, really feel into what I feel like doing. And that being said, I didn't do it today because I got a slow start today. So okay. I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, you did. And that makes sense because, again, it is something that shifts and changes based off of your needs. Habits and rituals should be adjusted.
Yeah.
They should reflect where you're at and where you're headed. And sometimes even where you've been, because you're wanting to shift or transition or transform from that state or that mood. So that's definitely helpful. What are your food habits like?
That's a good question too. So intuitive eating, I have played around with, and this actually resulted from some pretty intense health issues I had right around the same time I was quitting politics. That was in 2015 or 16. That all kicked off. Really crazy adrenal problems. My lymph nodes got super swollen. It's an empath's disease. People pleasing, saying yes to everyone, not taking care of myself, still working out and doing all that shit. Like the yes girl who could just like do it all and it was fine. So basically, I had a crazy incident with my eating and my body. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I started getting anaphylaxis, fainting, lymph nodes were super swollen. It was drama. It was just totally drama. So for like 6 months, I could only eat like rice, eggs, plain chicken with like no salt or pepper. Yeah. And then slowly, and I worked with an acupuncturist and acupressurist to like start to desensitize and reincorporate food. And since then, I've tried like all these different diets and cleanses and stuff like that, to the point where today it's like I can tell what I should or shouldn't eat and like trust the craving of my body. But I want to preface all of this to say, like, it took me a long time to notice the difference between like a true, like my body needs this and like an escape. So I always like want to say that too when I talk about intuitive anything, because it's like you have to be doing the healing work and develop that like relationship with your body to trust the craving or like the ask from your body. And it's not just like you trying to check out or me trying to check out, you know.
Got you. So what's your favorite food?
Burritos.
Really? Breakfast or dinner?
Dinner.
Like, there's a difference between a breakfast burrito and like a meal, like a lunch dinner burrito.
I agree with you, and thank you for making that distinction. I am also passionate about burrito science. Dinner burritos. My clients make fun of me because it's like I am, for better or for worse, I know I live in LA. We have amazing Mexican food. I fucking love Chipotle burritos. Like I love Chipotle burritos, and I'm not sorry. It's like it just hits different. I don't know.
Bet. So do you put the cauliflower rice in there that they have now in the burrito?
I tried the cauliflower rice and it I felt like it messed with like the texture a little bit for me. Yeah. It got a little bit like too soggy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's the same, but it's not.
Right.
You know. Okay. Right. He said burrito. Okay. Chipotle. I'm
still waiting for that sponsorship from Chipotle.
Right.
Too.
We're going to put that L and scissor for that hit different. I need you to grab some Namaste sweat gear for like the remix video.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you made us a comment earlier. Thank you very much about my skin. Yours is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Beauty
rituals. What you do? How you keep it young?
Okay. Can I say, yes, I can. I'm giving myself permission. I have not ever been a skincare girl ever. I've been dabbling lately, like actually 2020, like gifted me playing around with skincare because I noticed it actually made a difference. Like exfoliating, I figured that out this year and I'm like, what? How did no one tell me about this? Like you can actually see the difference. Okay. But I swear to God, boundaries and energy clearing has made my skin pop, like glow, in a way that I have almost probably never seen it. pop before.
That's interesting. Tell us more.
So clearing out, I call them like energy vampires. So making boundaries around or taking space from people in my life that are taking more than they're giving.
Mm-hmm.
And then boundaries around like the internet or social media or how people have access to me. Boundaries around my clients, my pricing, how I just kind of like relate to the world, and finding my power first before I like step into any one of those relationships.
Got you. And I love that you say that, because it's definitely a philosophy of mine where your fitness and your wellness goes beyond just going and doing a HIIT workout. You know what I mean? Or CrossFit or cardio or cycling. Like it really does start and end with your mindset, with, like you said, with your energy, what you allow, who you allow, what you're eating, if you're sleeping. Like there's so many different things that exfoliating. You know what I mean? It's like these little things that it's like honoring your body in so many different ways that brings in that balance of just whole body wellness. Like I'm into whole body wellness from the inside out. So yeah, I wouldn't have thought that for your skincare or for feeling better and looking better, that's what it is. Which, I mean, it makes sense. Some people, even like myself, it's just kind of the norm. It's just what you do and it happens. But to be able to make a conscious decision and effort and then see the results. Yeah.
Nice. And you can see it, like, or maybe it's like, I noticed it because I was so, like I said, I was so people pleasing. My fucking body was breaking down. Like I could have died.
Yeah.
At 26, they were like, yeah, you're like at risk for a heart attack. Like you need to go on bed rest. Like that's crazy. That's insane. Yeah. Like an otherwise totally, and otherwise like healthy young woman with resources, but I just I didn't know how to make those boundaries. And maybe it's like, I feel like I can see it because I can recognize like my old self, and even like a picture of a person, I feel like you can see in their, it's like deeper than their aura though. It's like you can see it in their skin if they're like carrying a bunch of things that aren't theirs, or are like seeking their, it sounds crazy, seeking their worthiness or something outside of themselves. It just like looks different in their face. So I feel like the only time I've ever gotten compliments on my skin is like once I started making boundaries and putting myself first.
Yeah, exactly. Putting yourself first, like the balance and the presence for yourself, and then to be present for others. But it's like once you put yourself first, like, man, like it opens up so much for you to be able to be there for others, and for you to decide how you want to be there for others, if you want to be there for others.
Yeah, it hits different, right? When it's an empowered choice to choose to like help someone. Otherwise, you're like, oh, I better help them or else they're not going to be my friend anymore. Or I better help them because otherwise, so-and-so will have something to say about it. Or I want to be a good person, whatever that means. Like whoever the jury is out that like decides that you're a good person, Yeah.
Like I can go so many places with that right now.
Yeah. I also want to plug really quick too, this like face oil I got from this really awesome woman-owned company. I don't know how to say it out loud. Natura Adria, Natura_ADRIA. She's really awesome. She's from somewhere in Europe. I don't know where, but I met her at a boothing event that I was at and tried this face oil, and it's like the shit. I've reordered it like 3 times.
Okay. Send me the link and we'll drop it and share it. Yeah. I'm like that too. Like, yeah, I'll get random stuff or like samples and like, man, squeeze or just wipe the hell out of the jar or two. Like I want every ounce of this, and yes, I will reorder. So
I've never felt so passionately about a single product. So, and I love the female owned shit too. So.
Yeah. You know how we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send me that link so I can share and so I can place an order.
Okay. I will. What's your skincare?
It's girl. I always joke. I'm like juices and berries, but it's always been, even like with skin and hair, just being as natural as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot of water. When I remember, I'm an avid tea drinker. So it's lots.
Any kind of tea? Any kind of tea?
Pretty much. Depends on the mood. Chai is my shit. That's probably definitely my favorite in any way, shape, or form. I'll do just a really good spice chai with just like with nothing. Like I can just have it just the spices of it with the hot water, fine. Lattes are my treats. But yeah, I'll do green, I'll do herbal, I'll do rose, hibiscus, turmeric, ginger, green tea is a daily as well in some way, shape, or form. And then just eating right, like, eating, sleep, trying to get rest. I'll do mask or I try to play around. Same thing. I started dabbling. I'm getting older. So want to pay a little bit more attention to that stuff now as well. But yeah, but I usually, because the same way like with you, when you say you go to like events or special like invites to do classes and stuff like that. For me, I was doing the same thing. And so it would always be like at wellness summits or events or expos. So there'll always be all these great products. So I would just have like just products from everybody. So I like my skincare honestly was living off of fucking samples.
I can't do it twice because it was this perfect combination of these little packets. That's so funny.
I'm just like, okay, here's some serum, here's some, and then I'll go to Sephora. Like I like Pharmacology. Is it Pharmacology or It's in Sephora, and so it's like a plant-based skincare. My recent love is Fenty Skin, actually.
Really?
Actually, really like it. Especially the moisturizer, the day and the evening. She has 2 different creams. Go Rihanna.
I know. I'm like, I love anything she does too. I'm like,
right?
I'll just do what she does.
I like it a lot. It's light. I feel like refreshed, moisturized. Like right now, that's my daily thing. There's another a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, she'll be on here soon. Soapwala. So soap.
Oh, I've heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, Soapwala, Rachel. I met her at a wellness summit. Matter of fact, at the Well Summit, and her brand is nice. I was using a deodorant, but she has other stuff. She has body, face, she has everything, and it's like a vegan. It's a very clean, handmade, small business, female owned.
I love it.
Yeah, out of New York. So
I'll check her out for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, as we just dropped all type of gems. All these gems.
I know.
Skin should be on point. No excuses. But key, eat and drink right and you're good. It'll show.
Yep.
God, and sleep. Shit, sleep.
And sleep. I love sleeping.
Speaking of sleeping, eating right, feeling right, looking right, tell me about these retreats.
Yeah.
You got one coming up.
Yep. We have one in April. I'm going to leave April 14th, but it starts on April 16th in Tulum. Mm-hmm. And what, you want to go? You can go.
I want to go so bad.
Because it's your birthday is the 15th?
The 10th.
The 10th. Oh, yeah. I was close. Okay. I'll get it down one of these days.
Just send them.
But it is honestly my favorite week of the year is our Tulum retreat. And we're adding more retreats, so I'll get to say if these are my 2 favorite weeks of the year or 3 favorite. But I'm not even tooting my own horn, or I guess I am. It's like the most myself I get to feel ever. And the way that we set it up, it's not just me, we have many teachers. And that's kind of the whole point. I've never wanted Namaste is fuck in general, and then especially our retreats, like I never wanted it to be about one person. Like it's about everyone having something to offer. And also everyone having like their own interpretation of what Namaste is fuck means to them. And it might vary day to day or moment to moment, and really making space for that. So we have a bunch of different kinds of classes to try. We even have like a twerk shop, learning how to love our bodies and play with what we actually feel like doing, what you don't feel like doing. Like everything's optional. It's all about developing that relationship with like being in your power and consent. Like, do you feel like doing yoga? No. Okay. Go lay by the pool or like go shopping or go whatever. And crazy shit happens afterwards. Like people leave from our retreats and go like, maybe this doesn't sound like a good thing to advertise, but like go get a divorce or go quit their job or go to yoga teacher training so they can teach on the next retreat. Like there's like
good stuff though.
Crazy life changes. Yeah. So we do that, we chill, we go on cool adventures, we eat good food, we make really awesome friends. And it really just is like, I'm super passionate about making the like no mean girl, because I've been like in cool girl, mean girl yoga or just regular situations, but like really passionate about like stamping that out and making sure that everyone is feeling included. But also if you want alone time, that's cool too. And just making that relationship.
I love it. I'm so excited. Just know going forward, I will be there every April.
Cool. So, okay.
Tulum has to just happen every April for sure.
Done.
But I can always be like, I'm going to Tulum and I'm a for my birthday.
And we have really awesome photographer that comes with us, Philo Life. So everyone gets really cool.
Oh, the pictures are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like to be able to go on such an awesome retreat with awesome people like that and not have to worry about capturing images,
right?
Awesome images. Like it's the best. Like you can live. Like because there's times I'll go somewhere and I'll have the best time of my life, but no one would ever know because I'm not there to capture it for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm there for me. I would love to share it. You might see me departing and me arriving. You might see a meal or two. I don't know. But really, it's too... And then with the retreat, I'm connecting with other women. You know what I mean? Like-minded people. So why do I want that distraction? Yes, we're going to, social media is what it is. And we want to capture those memories for ourselves as well. But that's a really nice bonus, a nice perk to have. I've seen the resort. It's amazing. You always select beautiful places. The food be on point. Mm-hmm. I'm hungry just thinking about it. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to mini retreats with you.
In any way, shape, or yeah.
So, yes, we trying to do sessions and coach and train and twerk.
Why not? You can have it all. Yeah, you really can.
I love it. You can have it all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the question of the episode, always, 3 tools a habitual woman should have in her arsenal.
Okay. Movement. That doesn't have to mean serious yoga. It could mean going on a hike and screaming into the abyss. Alone time. Boundaries.
Ooh, man. I like that. Movement, alone time, and boundaries. Okay. I'm putting that in my bag right now.
It's all yours.
Put that in my bag right now. So before I let you go, let us know what you have going on. What's out there for us to be able to immerse ourselves in the Namaste fuck world?
So our IG world is always amazing. Our community is awesome. I love hanging out with all my friends on the Namaste as Fuck page. We also have a really cool ambassador program and fun ways to get involved with the community. We have a private Facebook group. If you join our ambassador, which you're a freaking ambassador, you have your own special code.
Habitual AF, y'all.
Yeah.
You can be as fly as me. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. They'll have to keep, not everyone can just be as fly as you, but
juices and berries.
I love that. So we have our Instagram, we have our website, namasteasfuck.com. You can shop, you can practice with us. You can check out our blog. You can join us on our retreat. Me and Debrain are talking about some other fun events and stuff we'll have coming up as this pandemic, whatever we end up figuring out with as a collective, what's happening with that. But I know that in-person stuff is coming. So we'll have some cool in-person stuff coming up too. Yeah, I feel like that's we love collaborating. I love partnering. with anyone, but especially women. So any other like small business or yoga teacher or someone else who's just passionate about sharing whatever they want to share, I'm really into promoting and shouting out and partnering with people to help each other grow.
The support is always welcome and loved, especially in this day and age, especially with the fact that so many people had to shift to online and virtual. So, and to be forced, quote unquote, forced into social media world where they're like, what the fuck is this shit? But it's like, it's kind of what you got to do to survive. So to be welcomed and to have that support and love and not feel judged is kind of cool. Yep. So definitely appreciate you. Well, thank you. Oh my God. She makes me blush all the time.
Juices and berries.
No, we might have to make a shirt. We might have to do a collab there.
I'm down.
Make that a retreat shirt. Only for those coming on a retreat or events. I don't know. You'll see Juices and Berries coming soon. It's recorded right now. Don't be stealing our shit. It's documented. Thank you so much for coming on and honoring us and blessing us with your wisdom, with your space, with your energy, and again, taking your time to talk with us and share your gems with us. I always love the energy. I love the interaction. So thank you.
Back at you. Thanks for hitting me up. Like I said, like I really mean it. It was like so refreshing, like your take on things, and you just like kind of came out of nowhere and made my day a couple times now. So I just really appreciate the way you see me, and like, thanks for holding this space. And I know podcasts are a lot of energy too. So thanks for making this space for us to hang out.
No problem. Well, until next time, my lovely ladies of the Habitual Woman podcast fans, I'll see you later.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of the Habitual Woman podcast. Please take a moment, if you enjoyed the show, to share with your family and friends, and please leave a review. To learn more about the podcast and our community, you can go to thehabitualwomanpodcast.com. And until next time, this is Debrina Wright, your habitual coach, transforming habits into a lifestyle.